wouldn't let her accept. Pride is all she has left that's truly hers, not managed or allocated by others. She checks her watch, a Timex that James gave her on their 40th anniversary. 10:30 a.m. Time for her morning walk, weather permitting. The doctor encourages regular exercise, though she suspects he'd prefer she did it in an organized senior program rather than wandering the neighborhood alone. Bundling up in her coat, the same one she's had for 12 years, still serviceable despite its worn cuffs, Mary prepares for her daily ritual. She takes her key, singular now, not the heavy ring of house keys she once carried, and her small purse containing exactly $23 in cash, an approved amount for incidental expenses. The elevator is working today, a small mercy. As she descends, she remembers Michael's suggestion last Christmas, via email, about looking into retirement communities with more support services. She'd ignored it, just as she'd ignored Sarah's links to assisted living brochures and David's financial advisor's hints about optimizing her living situation. In the lobby, she nods to Mr. Guo, who moved in last month. He's Chinese too, though from a different province than her parents were. Sometimes they exchange greetings in Mandarin, and for a moment, she can pretend she's back in her mother's kitchen, learning to make dumplings while her mother talked about the importance of family. Family is like chopsticks, her mother used to say in Mandarin. One alone can be broken easily, but together, they are strong. Mary wonders what her mother would make of designer chopsticks that snap themselves in half. Outside, the Minneapolis morning is crisp, threatening snow. Mary turns left, her usual route taking her past the small park where young mothers gather with their children. She used to bring her own children here, when this neighborhood was different, before the old shops turned into artisanal coffee houses and vintage clothing boutiques. A young woman pushing a stroller gives her a brief smile, the kind reserved for elderly strangers, polite but distant. Mary smiles back, remembering when she was that young mother, when her world revolved around nap schedules and first steps. She passes the window of an antique store, catching her reflection. Something about her stance reminds her of her own mother in her later years, and for the first time, Mary understands the look she used to see in her mother's eyes. Not just age or tiredness, but the weight of unspoken disappointments. The irony strikes her then, sharp as the wind. She'd promised herself she'd never be like her own mother, who she'd thought too traditional, too focused on family obligation.